Check 212. What's up, everybody? This is DJ Divine Justice coming to you today for Ableton and Maschine tutorial. Basically, I'm going to be talking about how to make the most out of using Maschine as a plugin when you don't have any of the Maschine hardware. Like I have Ableton Push, so I'll be showing how I make the most out of that. You really only need as many tracks as you want to route out. You don't have to have doubles or rerouting groups. The way that I've been able to do it was I open up, as you can see on Group A, I actually have the Maschine plugin, which is just going into plugins, VSDs, drop down, finding where Maschine is and loading that in, and launching it. On these other tracks, I go into audio effects and then I add 7 more, in this case, MIDI tracks, and you'll see that they're external instruments. So if you go to audio effects, external audio effect, loads up external audio effect, which is actually not what I want. Instruments, double click, get an external instrument. On B, to go to Group B in Maschine, it says Group A because Group A is where actually all of these 7 MIDI channels are sending them to Group A, where Maschine is actually on that channel as a plugin. The rest of them are just MIDI channels that have external instruments. So on this one, it'll go to A, but then it'll go to 2, and the audio from will come from 3. So on my push, I can go to that second channel, just go into note mode, go to the second channel, then you see that's the third channel, and I go to the second channel, that's another drum kit. If I go to this channel, then it's sending information to Group C, and then you can see down here in this information, now this is changed to 3, getting audio from 5, 6. And if I go down the line, you'll see that those go 4, 7, 8, 5, 9, 10, 6, 11, 12, 7, 13, 14, 8, 15, 16. Now what that means is over in Maschine, if I go and open up that window for the plugin by clicking on the wrench, you'll see the 2 things that you need to change in order for this to work in Maschine. You have to change the audio out routing, and you have to change the MIDI in. So you'll see if I go and close my browser, if I go to A and go to Group, go to this tab, which is the plugins or your routing, and go to Output. Here I'm on my audio. You'll see that as you go down, these will change. Normally they're on master. I have that on external 1, external 2, external 3, external 4, and so on. That's to match the output that you were seeing on the external instruments. The other change that you'll make is that on Sound tab, if you go to your Input and MIDI, you'll see on these 2, this button is off on active because these 2 are drum kits. What that means is that if I go in and I'm playing the drums on this first channel 1, I want each pad to be a different sound. Now you see, since I hit a snare, if I go back into Maschine and I put this on active, play the pads, that's actually the wrong, didn't like that at all. You'd want active on this drum kits if you were trying to use your keyboard or the pads to tune the drums. So on these two drum kits, you'll see that on sound, input, MIDI, active is off. But on these other notes, you want active on. So on 3 through 8, you'll see that I need, like if this is off, and you go back into playing the pads on 3, you can only play it on the root note. None of the other notes work. But if I have active on all these other channels, I can play like a normal synthesizer. So that's why it's important to, in Maschine, make sure that for the synthesizers and things that you want to play melodically, you have sound, input, MIDI, active on. And if you're trying to get to drum kits, you have sound, input, MIDI, active off. And that's pretty much it as far as routing stuff back in. I can launch some clips. You can see how they sound. It's going to start tweaking out now. Well, that sounds hot when I don't have a million things running. So, really basic things. Only need one instance of Maschine. Then you just need external instruments on all the other channels. Just make sure that the MIDI is all going to that first group A, which will be where Maschine is. Make sure you make this different as far as many times as you want different groups routing into different machines, different groups routing into different channels in Ableton. And then make sure that you change this correspondingly so that you can know. It's pretty easy to see this audio from, because as soon as you switch to that channel and you start playing notes, it'll show you, okay, well this is coming through on 5/6. So you just change it that way. I can make a video where I do it from scratch, but I just wanted to throw this out there so that people that are already familiar with this can get this going, because I know Maschine is really an amazing program, and if you feel like you don't have the controller, it might hold you up from progressing. So this is a cool way of being able to use, and you don't have to use push. Basically, if you set it up this way, all you have to do is go and arm a different track, and whatever MIDI keyboard you have will perform the same function. So the only thing I couldn't figure out was how to get the drum racks really going in there, and if you're really know what you're doing and can get into MIDI, I feel like there would be another way to incorporate the drop-down menu right here where there's MIDI Learn. I don't know how. I would think it would have to do with like changing the stuff on the macros, because on each external instrument, when you switch to device over here, they have macros for all the external instrument devices in Ableton. So my idea was, well, why can't you use these macros to control things in Ableton, like once I get to the sound and I want to change the kick and I want to make it, I want to change the voice settings, or I want to change the filter or something like that, I felt like you should be able to press MIDI Learn here and then, have it all work out so that the macros would be able to control this. That's the next level. Shout out to St. Joe from MachineMasters.com and his YouTube page, because not only am I always learning stuff, but then just the one he put up really helped me figure out what I needed to make this video. So much respect, information, peace, love, and unity, and all that cool shit. So this is DJ Divine Justice signing off. As always, practice and enjoy, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.